Do you ever wonder what happens when you blink? There's no split-second freeze frame, no DVR to make sure we don't miss a thing. The world doesn't cease to be when it's out of our sight. It marches on, ceaselessly. There's a never-ending supply of missed moments, and it is within such missed moments that they reside. We don't see them. They exist in the peripheral, overlooked due to an unconscious combination of desire for normalcy and sheer force of obliviousness. Sitting in that peripheral, or more accurately, a beat-up diner just off Route 66, is eternity, the eternity we all know is coming. The big sleep, the bucket we all kick, the farm upstate where your dog lives happily, death.
I think I want some waffles.
The ultimate end orders some waffles while she awaits her counterpart. Death has always been more punctual than life, anyway.
Finally! It's been a while, old friend.
Indeed.
The last time you called a meeting like this was what? The Second World War, when we went to that lovely little pub in London. Best fish and chips I've ever had. Shame the Bliss got it. I'd like to go back.
This is certainly a step down.
Hey, don't knock Daisy's Diner until you've tried it.
I'd rather not.
Life tends to consider herself above her own necessities, like food and drink and breathing, which she actually thinks is a chore, and beating around the bush, which is even more taxing.
I invited you here for a reason.
I guess I don't blame you for not wanting to eat anything. The menu brags lobster, and that just seems reckless. I should know. You wouldn't believe how much business I get from diner lobsters and tuna fish sandwiches. They're more deadly than sharks, you know? Higher mortality rate if you tangle with a tuna fish sandwich than with a great white. Still, waffles seem like a safe bet, don't they?
I've heard certain rumors.
What sort of rumors? Juicy ones?
Concerning ones.
Life had heard through the proverbial grapevine that Death had been doing a lot of thinking lately. Dangerous thinking.
Is it true? I thought he was lying. I thought there was no way you could actually be considering.
Who told you?
Does it matter?
Of course it matters.
I heard from the East Wing.
That fucker! Told him not to tell anyone.
There are more important matters.
More important than the betrayal of a friend? I doubt it.
I am talking about the betrayal of a friend.
Oh.
Death was grudgingly touched to know that life considered her a friend.
I always knew you were irresponsible, but I never thought you were insane.
Death was no longer touched.
I resent that. I'm perfectly stable and recklessly responsible to boot.
You know as well as I do that we can't just up and leave.
Do I?
We can't be serious.
You know, at first, I wasn't. I went and got some drinks with Uris, who apparently is a snitch.
Well, that's what you get for associating with him. He's unlucky.
Then he and a misfortune like myself made great pals. That's actually exactly what we were talking about. How he's tired of being unlucky and always bringing the rain, and I said that I understood that it's hard to be the one thing everyone dreads. And I said I wish I could just stop. And he laughed and told me that stopping was my job, and if I wanted to stop, I was gonna have to do it myself. And I laughed too until I realized I meant it. I want to stop.
You can't.
How do you know? Have you tried?
No. Why would I?
Exactly, why would you? Your job is great. I drew the short straw.
My role isn't easy. I have to watch them suffer.
But not forever. When they're alive, they keep going. You know the suffering will last, and they know too, even if it's near constant. Life is full of joys, even little ones. And they can take comfort in that too. Death is the exact opposite. I stop them. I have to make sure that they leave every single little joy they've ever loved while they were alive and keep them from ever going back. You can't imagine the agony, the absolute misery they feel.
But you offer them rest. What about the ones who are prepared?
No one's prepared. No one's ever prepared. Even if they think they are, they're not, and they never will be. Nobody wants to leave you. Tell me again how hard your part is.
But you are necessary. I am meaningless without you.
Bullshit!
There's no point to living if it's eternity. It loses all significance without an expiration date.
Yeah. And how would you feel to be that expiration date? Maybe you're right, in the grand scheme, but people are dying every day, and I'm sick of having to drag them away from their families. You'll never know how hard it is.
You can't leave.
You keep saying that, but you don't really know.
You can't. And you don't really want to. Deep down.
Don't fucking pretend to know what I want. You have no idea what you're talking about.
You know that you're necessary.
Yeah? Well, maybe I don't want to be necessary. Maybe I just want to be loved. Like you.
So that's what this is about? Lack of positive reinforcement?
You're always so high and mighty, so patronizing, like you know a single goddamn thing about this. You don't know what it's like. I'm better off without them fearing and abhorring me, and they're better off without me ripping them from everything they hold dear.
Do your job.
No.
I can't listen to this. Just make it stop.
Don't like how it feels, huh?
You have to do something. What will happen to him otherwise?
I don't know. You'll see, I guess. For once, it's not my funeral.
Selfish?
The world marches on, ceaselessly, and this time, truly without an end.